Michael Faraday, his genius, his experiments, and the Faraday cage. Welcome back, everyone. Today we explore the life of one of the greatest experimental scientists in history, Michael Faraday, a man with almost no formal education who reshaped electricity, magnetism, chemistry, and even how we protect our devices today. Grab your notebooks, grab a drink, and let's step into the labs of the 1800s where a bookbinder's apprentice changed the world. Faraday's early life. Michael Faraday was born September 22, 1791, in a tiny working class village called Newington Butts, just south of London. His family was poor. His father was a blacksmith, and Faraday received only the bare basics of schooling. What changed everything was a bookbinding apprenticeship at the age of 14. Surrounded by books he was supposed to bind, Faraday couldn't help but read them. He taught himself physics, chemistry, and the mathematical basics entirely from pages he binded. How he entered science. Faraday began attending free science lectures at the Royal Institution, especially those of Sir Humphrey Davy. He took obsessive notes and eventually bound them into a book, which he sent directly to Davy. Davy was so impressed he hired Faraday as a lab assistant in 1813. Faraday learned by cleaning equipment, running experiments, and most importantly, by observing. With no formal degree, Faraday became the most influential experimentalist of the 19th century. Faraday's discoveries. Faraday's contributions are everywhere around us. Electromagnetism induction, 1831. He discovered that a moving magnet can generate electricity in a coil, the foundation of electric generators. The laws of electrolysis. He established the rules that describe how electricity drives chemical reactions. Diamagnetism. He provided that all materials respond to magnetic fields in some way. The Faraday effect. He showed magnetic fields can influence light, one of the first hints that electricity, magnetism, and light are all connected. The Ice Pail experiment. One of Faraday's most brilliant demonstrations was the Ice Pail experiment. He lowered a charged metal ball into a metal bucket without touching it, and discovered that the bucket became charged instantly. When the ball touched the bucket, the charge transferred completely. This proved electric charge moves to the outside of a conductor. Conductive surfaces redistribute charge automatically. Electrostatic induction works without contact. This simple bucket experiment would become the basis for a device we still use today, the Faraday cage. What is a Faraday cage? A Faraday cage is any conductive enclosure that blocks external electric field from electromagnetic waves. Think of it like an electrical shield. Faraday cages can be built from conductive metal mesh, copper or aluminum sheets, steel enclosures, even a car or airplane fuselage acts as one. The main requirement, the enclosure must be conductive and mostly continuous with no large gaps. How does a Faraday cage work? A Faraday cage works because charges in the metal respond instantly to outside electric fields. When a wave or electric field hits the cage, the metal electrons rearrange themselves. They create an opposite field. The two fields cancel each other inside the cage. This makes the interior a calm, quiet place, electromagnetically silent. Why we still use Faraday cages today? Faraday cages are still used in modern life because they protect against lightning strikes, electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, static electricity, wireless hacking attempts, RF interference in labs and hospitals. Every microwave oven is a Faraday cage. Every airplane protects passengers through Faraday principles. Every RF testing chamber, secure lab, and high-end server from room uses Faraday shielding. Faraday's ideas haven't faded. They've become the backbone of electronic safety. A modern-day Faraday cage guide. What is a Faraday cage? A Faraday cage is a conductive enclosure that blocks electromagnetic fields. This includes cell signals, Wi-Fi, radio waves, microwaves, EMP bursts, and static electricity. What you can use as a Faraday cage. Here are common materials that work: copper mesh, aluminum mesh or foil, steel boxes and enclosures, ammunition cans, metal trash cans with tight lids, and Faraday bags. Rules for building a Faraday cage. 1. Continuous conductivity. No large gaps or opening. Mesh holes must be smaller than the wavelength that you want to block for cell signals under -5 millimeters. No internal contact. Devices inside should not touch the metal. Use cardboard, foam, cloth, or wood. Seal the gaps. Use metal tape, conductive tape, tight-fitting lids. A single gap can ruin the entire shield. Double layering helps. 1 layer of mesh is good. 2 layers of spacing, excellent. What you can protect inside? People typically store phones and laptops, external LAN drives, external hard drives, radios, flash drives with sensitive files, key fobs to prevent relay theft, emergency electronics for EMP protection. How to test your Faraday cage. Put your phone inside. Close or seal the lid. Call the phone. If it doesn't ring, good sign. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi also fail, very good. GPS also fails, excellent shielding. Best everyday uses: protecting emergency electronics, blocking wireless tracking, preventing remote hacking, shielding sensitive lab instruments, blocking interference for ham radio setups. And that's Michael Faraday, a self-taught genius whose discoveries built the foundations of our electrical world. From early electromagnetic experiments to the Faraday cage still used in laboratories, hospitals, and even your microwave, his work continues to guide modern technology. If you've enjoyed this presentation, hit like and subscribe and ring the bell, and stay tuned for more deep dives into science that shapes our reality.